everybody, welcome back to That Fiction Life. Today we have a very royal themed video. You know, I just have a crown lying around. I, by the way, did buy it for a purpose. I'm not crazy. Some of you will recognise this from my Wicked King video, but this was the ideal item to add to my sort of very I'm going to the races as a princess kind of look, because we're talking about American Royals by Katharine McGee. You should all know by now I do not read contemporaries. It is my least favourite genre because I tend to like action and battles, so I rarely pick up the genre. However, when it comes to royalty or some kind of setting with aristocrats, I don't need any magic. In this version of events, we have an actual royal family that governs the country. So the plot of this book follows four main protagonists. The first character that we follow is Beatrice, who is the heir to the throne. She is the oldest daughter of the king and queen. Then we have her sister Samantha, who has a twin brother called Jeff. Third character is Nina, who is Sam's best friend, as well as, I guess, the only commoner out of the four. While one of her mums works for the monarchy in the cabinet, she has no noble blood, she doesn't have a title. And finally, we have Daphne, who is sort of the antagonist of the story. She's very keen to marry Prince Jeff. You will absolutely love this book if you are a fan of The Princess Diaries, and I grew up with those. If I had to describe this book, I would say it's sort of The Princess Diaries meets the Gossip Girl drama that went down. So Princess Beatrice is the heir to the throne, and that's for the first time in history that a woman can inherit the throne when there is another male child in the line of succession, which is so important. I really loved the world building in this book because, of course, there is no precedent for this. Katharine truly got to invent her own rules about how the American royal family would govern. I love the little details she's added. This is hilarious to me, but such a cool thing to include. It's seen as unpatriotic to drink tea as an American royal, even though they do not have any kind of quarrels with Britain now. Because of the past history, it's just seen as tradition now. So at any kind of formal party, they will only serve coffee. It's also just been fun to compare the etiquette of the American royalty to the British monarchy that we have now. They take selfies, they give people their autographs. The British monarchy is not allowed to give autographs, so I think it was interesting to kind of have different details between the two families. It's sort of traditional but modern at the same time, and I think that was my favourite thing about it. This book has a lot of tropes. I don't have anything against tropes. The tropes in this were so perfect for the setting, and it's kind of a little bit of a rom-com in that way. I'm not going to tell you what they are because I think that would be so much of a spoiler for a lot of the stuff that goes on, especially with the princesses' relationships. I particularly appreciate how this book delves into each of the girls' positions and how each of their positions have ups and downs, because on the face of it you think, oh, Beatrice is so lucky, she gets to be the Queen of America, and Samantha is just the spare, and she often talks about how her code name is the Sparrow, which genuinely means she is the spare if anything were to happen to Beatrice or Jeff. And you might think she's unlucky in that aspect, but then you see how much Beatrice has on her shoulders. Her whole life she has been training for a job that she doesn't even get a say in whether she wants it or not. Nina's life is also very tangled up with the royal family because even though she lives a pretty normal life, you know, the cameras don't follow her around, but just by being involved with the royal family, people have some opinions. And of course there's Daphne, who I hate that girl with all my might, but at the same time I kind of understand her. I mean, the upbringing that she has had is so toxic because her parents are kind of telling her, your only job is to find yourself within the royal family, that's all you should care about. So you do really get to feel this sympathy for her, and I wasn't expecting that, so thumbs up to the writing because it really made me feel for her. I just honestly had the best time reading this book. It's almost 450 pages, but for me it just felt like I was making my way through it so quickly, as though I was watching quick episodes of like a political teen drama. I think the main reason for me not liking contemporaries is that there's nothing leading you to some kind of big climactic ending. So, you know, in any kind of fantasy, there's always going to be some kind of battle or a fight that you can get excited by. But in contemporaries, there's usually just heartbreak or something that happens at the end. I didn't even notice myself getting to the end. And as I was flicking the pages, I noticed I only had about this much left, and it traumatized me. I would highly, highly recommend this. I had such an amazing time reading this, and I can't believe we have to wait a year for book 2 now. Right, now I'm going to talk about some very quick spoilers, because if you have read this book, I would love to discuss some quick little details with you. So if you haven't read the book, please exit off this video because you don't want to be spoiled. That would just be so sinful. Let's first talk about the ending, because holy shit. I didn't know what the hell to do with myself. Beatrice just pretty much became queen. I was not expecting that in this book. I felt for Beatrice so much. The whole kind of country starts kneeling to her. I was like, oh my god, it's happening. Beatrice is becoming queen right now. I really do love her as a character. It's very hard for me to pick a favourite. Of course, Daphne is at the bottom of the list. But I did really love Beatrice. I think she's just such a good person. The way she was trying to navigate her relationships throughout the book, I really admired that. She really tried to go along with the engagement to Teddy. What the hell's going to happen with that whole mess right now? Because they can't just call off the engagement, right? Can we just talk about Samantha? I felt like she wasn't going to be my favourite at the beginning, but she became, I think, one of my top favourites. I liked that we got to see her with a range of different people. So we had her relationship with Beatrice, then Jeff and Nina. So Daphne's sabotaging schemes, I was not expecting for those to get so dark, because I know she's a bit crazy with it. When we find out especially what she did at that party, how a friend ended up in a coma because she gave her drugs. Like, what? And this is where I get really mad at Jeff, because I thought he was a cool dude. You know, he was very respectful of the fact that Nina doesn't really want a big flashy relationship. He believed Daphne when she was telling him all this bull about how she just cares about him and she was just trying to help Nina. First of all, why are you believing your ex-girlfriend and then saying your actual girlfriend is panicking? So Jeff is on kind of rocky water right now with me. I really thought Teddy had some kind of ulterior motive. Is that going to be a thing? Because I feel like he's just too good to be true at the moment. I feel like there's a betrayal coming from someone, and not Daphne. I loved the ball scenes in this book, the amount of parties that they had, so that was one of my favourite aspects. I think that's all I'm going to say for the spoilered section. Do let me know what you think of this book. I would love to keep discussing with you. Who is your favourite character? I would love to know. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and of course subscribe to my channel, and I shall see you next time. Bye!